And
Yep, we are live. We are live.
um, so, listen, Devout, there's a lot
Yeah,
has been going on in the world. And
yeah, mm,
obviously, when I mean world, I mean World Cup. So, I
yep,
mean, is it because Australia, they just basically got kicked out of the World Cup just like recently.
yeah.
I know they gave it some, but what's it like with old England, the England
With
team?
all
They must be going
Blighty,
mad. With
the
Blighty.
Blighty. Yeah, I mean, obviously they always say they're going to bring it home. It's today with England playing Senegal, and a lot of people think Senegal might upset things.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's
England
been a
probably
lot of
should
that.
win according to who the players they've got, but you never know. I want to see a good game.
Yeah,
Senegal can. I like an underdog. So if
yeah,
Senegal, if they do win, that'd be crazy. But yeah,
mad.
Australia, they battled hard against Argentina. I wanted Australia to win. They
I
didn't, but at
know.
least they can go home with their heads held high. That's all I can
Yeah,
say. So
yeah, yeah.
it was all
No, it
good.
was a good game. It was a really good game. So,
Yeah.
you know what? It just made me think, Devout, what a
Mm.
decent World Cup, what a decent, like really, when was the last decent football film that you've seen? The last one that you've seen?
Decent.
I mean,
Meme,
like
Meme
good.
Machine. Is that the one? Meme Machine with Vinnie Jones when they're in the prison and stuff like that. Is
Yes,
that one?
yeah. That
And
was
also
from a while ago, wasn't it?
a while ago, yeah, Escape to Victory that had Pele, that had Rocky,
That Rocky in
Sylvester
it, yeah.
Stallone, and Steve McQueen. I think there's also the movie that had that guy. I can't remember his name, but it was a trilogy where he was a footballer in England.
Goal.
Then he Goal. That's the one. I
I
saw the
watched that.
trilogy. That wasn't.
I
That was.
saw the first two.
Yeah, so I think I sort of freed them. It wasn't great, but it was entertaining.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
tried. They tried.
They tried, right? There
When did
hasn't
like
been
Beckham
one.
2002? That's 20 years
Yes,
ago. We should have
I
actually mentioned that
know.
on
We we
on
should
the
have actually.
on the anniversary corner. But yeah, maybe next week.
But as I was watching these football matches, I was like, shit, there's got to be like another, like a recent, decent, football film. But there
Mm,
hasn't been, has there? There isn't. No one makes them.
no, not that I can think of. No, no,
And
no.
if you think about the number of people that watch football, play football around the world, it's the
Mm,
most popular sport there is. Yeah, it's a bit surprising. All right, folks, listen, look, thank you
mm.
for downloading this show, listener. This is episode 218. Wow, we are fast approaching the end of the year. And listen, we've got a bit of a treat for you on this one. Great show coming up. And obviously, the usual film reviews, shout outs, trailers, streaming, the whole thing. You know how it all goes.
Yep.
So, Deval, take it away, please.
Yeah, so we've got some shout outs. So we've got a few because someone naughty put a bit of a post up on our Instagram because it was someone's birthday a few
That's
days ago
wicked.
and exposed me to the world doing my praying
You know
mantis.
what, mate, I was going through the videos and I was just like, what were we talking about? It was the video
I
was
don't
just so
know.
funny.
What was it?
I had to put it. It was
I
I
can't
think we
remember.
were talking about Star Wars Rogue One, and then
Yeah.
you started speaking about Donnie Yen, and then you started speaking about like the
Ah,
old kung fu movies, like Iron
yeah.
Monkey, like all this sort of
Yes,
stuff,
yes,
man. It
yes,
was
yes,
so
yes,
funny.
yes. Oh
So
yeah,
funny,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was great, man. Now, but what'd you get up to?
Not much. I mean, just chilling.
Yeah.
43 now, getting on.
Oh man.
43 years old, getting on, getting old. So just quite a quiet one. Got a twin sister, so we obviously celebrated it together as well.
Yeah, nice.
So we're chilled out. But yeah, a lot of people were showing their birthday love, and thank you
Yeah,
very much.
man.
A couple of shout outs. First one goes out to Mr. Goals himself, Sergey. 231 on Instagram. Go check him out.
Mm.
He runs marathons every day, pretty much. He's crazy.
Mad.
Also a keen footballer. So he's from Cameroon. So they just went out to Brazil.
Yeah, man.
But I know he's a really keen footballer. So big shout out to you. Massive
Wicked.
shout out goes out to Ciel Noir 3. We shout her out
Huge.
nearly every week, and it's deservedly so. Great positive influence on Instagram. Go check her out. Was chatting to her recently, and I said to her, "You should really come on the show."
Oh
And she
man, that'd
was
be
like,
wicked.
"Yep." So we've got to make it happen. I know we've got
Yeah.
different time zones out here. There's
Yeah.
like Australia, there's America, there's England. We somehow got to make it happen.
We've got to make it work.
But we got to make it work. But yeah, we're definitely going to get you on the show. Ciel Noir 3, 100%. Second shout out goes to, I'm going to say it right this time, Ambly Orjla.
Ambly.
No.
She's
Ambi,
gonna laugh that. She's gonna love that.
she is. Do you know what? Ambi's been with us, yeah, I think pretty much since day one.
Yeah, I know.
Following the show, listening. Massive shout out to you, Ambi. Honestly, you've been following us and supporting us for time. Massive thank you to you as well. If you want to come on the show, do let us know as well. We know
You
you
know
love the
what? That
movies.
would be good
Yeah,
because you know what? She's really opinionated. She
yeah,
talks a bit too much,
that's good.
and
A bit like someone I
no, I'm
know.
joking. No, she's wicked.
I'm
And look,
joking.
you know what, right? Because the conversation that we had was about the
Uh,
James Bond, like who's going to be the next James
yeah,
Bond and everything like that.
mm,
So that would be a great conversation. Yeah.
yeah,
So
definitely.
Ujala, Ambi Ujala.
Get
That's
on
so
the show.
funny.
Next big shout out goes to Natasha Chidez. Am I saying it right? Chizdes or Chizdes, otherwise known as
V
Vegas Chiz.
Chiz.
On yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was Vega. Vega Chiz. I thought something to do with vegans, but I don't know. But yeah, on Instagram, she gave us a massive big shout out. So
Wicked big
big thank
big
you
shout
to
out.
you. And last shout out goes to Cloud Watcher Uno on Instagram. Go check out him. He loves his music. He has a event every year in London.
Mm,
I know he's got a podcast as well and talks about all kinds of music. So go check out Cloud Watch Uno as well.
yeah.
But those are our shout outs. And yeah, massive love to all of you. So thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into movie news. And Val, this name
Mm.
has appeared on our movie news for, yeah, I mean, like, since probably day one, because a lot of his
Yeah.
movies that we speak about and everything. So what's happening with Zack Snyder these days?
Yeah. So we know that, like you mentioned, you just put it perfectly. He's been doing movies for years. 300. What was that movie that came out a while ago where the ladies went into the different world? I can't remember what it's called now. It will come to me.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. You're so good at that. You're always good at it. Sucker Punch. Among others, we saw the zombie film that came out on Netflix recently.
uh,
So
yeah.
he's recently, had a relationship with Netflix to bring out some more content. Obviously, the DCEU, it started well for him. It kind of got diluted in all the Warner Brother madness. So
Yeah.
he's going to go out and do his own thing, which is going to be Rebel Moon. Rebel
Mm.
Moon is going to be his version of in his words, a more adult Star Wars. Mm,
Oh, this could be
yeah.
interesting. So,
So
like, what? Yeah, like a sweary. What about a sweary? What sweary version? More blood, more guts.
I think that, but also, you know how we like Andor, and you know how we
Yes.
like Mandalorian, and we like
Yeah.
Star Wars when it's a bit more serious. And I think he's going to
Mm.
take it to the next level, and with characters that are a bit more fresh. Well, not a bit more fresh. Characters that are fresh, worlds that are untouched. This is going to
Mm.
center around, different planets, and some themes of this is going to be about people and collections of planets who are under threat against a tyrannical force.
Oh my
Where have we
gosh.
seen that before in Star Wars? So
In Star
he's
Wars.
not trying to reinvent the wheel. He is
Yeah.
actually doing something that we all like. He mentioned this is for him growing up Akira
There you go.
Kurosawa, and also Star Wars. He was big fans of those.
Yeah.
He loves sci-fi. He loves sci-fi, and he wants to create this as a new IP that can just not just be movies. Because the first Rebel Moon is going to be two movies. He wants it to spread into other TV shows and other
Like
movies.
basically like a universe type of a thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Pun
Yeah.
intended. Who's going to be part of this? So he's going to have Sophia Boutella, who we saw her in The Mummy and
Yep.
amongst other stuff. Charlie Hannem, we've seen before. Ray Fisher,
Mm.
DC. Ray Fisher, who they
They're trying
tried
to
to
get rid
cancel.
of. Yeah.
Exactly, he's coming back. Jumon Honsu, uh, among many others. Also, Sir Anthony Hopkins. So
Oh my gosh. The
massive
rotating.
cast. Yeah. So I mean, that's all we know so far. They've wrapped now. So what is it? End of 2022. So
Yeah.
expect this sometime next year. So yeah, on
Wow.
Netflix. On
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's going to be. I mean, look, he was able to ink a deal with Netflix, who probably said, "Look, hey, look, we'll support the movies that you'll do," because he never made. Well, he didn't get that support, did he, at DC?
Mm. No, no, no.
Yeah. All right. Listen, look, we'll keep you posted on that one. Again, Netflix, they're always kind of, new stuff, new ideas coming out of
Yeah,
Netflix. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that one. I wanted to speak about this next one. So back in, in the 70s and 80s, Russell, Kurt Russell and John
Mm.
Carpenter, they really had kind of formed a really great relationship. They made a trilogy of movies, made three movies, which obviously stand out for us, Devaldo, is The Thing,
A thing, gangster film, gangster
really
film.
good. And
Yeah,
listener, we implore you to go watch that movie if you haven't seen it.
yeah.
Then there was Big Trouble in Little China, which
Ooh,
this kind of fun, kind of like, horror comedy-ish kind of martial arts kind of thing. Like, it was a really like great
gangster
movie.
film.
Yeah, another
Mm.
one. And then for me as well, up there with the John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, was Escape from New York and Deval. It was. Do you remember Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, solid. Yeah, Solid Snake. Yeah.
Right. So Metal Gear Solid, the character, he has an eye patch
Mm,
and he's called Snake. So
mm.
Kurt Russell, his name wears an eye patch. He's called Snake Plissken.
Are you
I'm te-
serious?
His name is
I did
Snake.
not know that.
Mate, Snake Plissken is his name in Escape from New York, and it was a gangster movie. It was set in the year 2024, or was it?
Mm.
No, I can't remember exactly. It was set in the
That's quite
future.
soon. That's not too far in the
I
future.
know,
Well, not
I know.
now, anyway.
And it's set in a world where basically everything's gone to like shit. Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic,
Mm.
and some group of people, they've kidnapped the president, and only one man can go into New York, where it's basically secluded. No one wants to go in there, and it's Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken. It's a great movie for a 1980s movie. Deval. It's got it
Mm.
all. It's got that whole swagger, that 80s vibe to it. They are going to be doing the movie news is Deval. They're going to be doing a reboot. And check this out.
Mm.
Apparently this is being in development hell, but it's going to be directed by the guys um Matt Bettinelli.
Mm.
But all right, listen, forget the names. The team is known for working on Ready or Not. Do you remember that movie, Ready or Not?
Oh
It's
yeah,
kind of a
yeah. The
horror.
whole kind of the wedding one where they play a game
That's
on the
it.
bride, and yeah, she's got to like run for her life. Yeah.
So those guys, they did Ready or Not. They're also doing the upcoming Scream 6, and they're also doing
Mm.
this Escape from New York reboot. So I
Mm.
reckon we should be
Busy.
expecting, yeah, hopefully we can expect like, decent things. Is it going to be a reboot? Is it going to be kind of like this thing where they kind of go back, and it's almost also could be a sequel, who knows, a
Yeah,
requel,
yeah, yeah.
one of those things. So we'll wait and
A
see. I'm
recall.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Escape from New York. The premise is
Oh my
really great.
gosh.
Set in the future.
Mm-mm. Mm. We all know the future is troubling.
I
So,
know, I know.
mm,
So go if you're interested in that. Go check out the original. Go check out those movies, The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China
yeah.
and Escape from New York. All right, let's do streaming, Devaldo. Now I know you've been watching this, so I know you got deep into it. Odin Sleeper still got me on this one, man. But tell me about 1899.
1899. Do you know what? No, it's. I haven't got much further than last time. I'm
Right.
still going to recommend it.
Mm,
1899 is good. It is good. It's very spooky. It's slow, patient, mysterious, and it keeps you really intrigued because the
mm,
characters never give you too much.
right.
Never give you too much. They're like that person, in every classroom you go to, there's that person that sits in the corner,
Yeah.
and they know more than they're putting their hand up like every now and then, but they know more.
They
They
know
can put
more.
their hand
Yeah.
up every second, but they're not, and they're just mysterious. No one really chats to them. That's what
Yeah.
this film is. That person.
Damn.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's
It's
it's it's it's,
intriguing.
it's worth
Definitely
a
is
watch.
intriguing. Yeah.
Very intriguing. Very intriguing. So I think it's yeah. Put it on your list.
All right, it's on the list. This next one I have seen. Well, I think I've seen about 3 or 4 episodes. And you know what? The great thing about these tales, Star Wars
Ah,
Tales of the Jedi, they're only like about 6 or 7 minutes long. They're really, really kind of brief, but they give enough to kind of like, oh, so there's that character, and like, this is going on. But yeah, I'm really liking them, man. And we're getting to see more of Ashoka Tano. We see Anakin. We see
mm.
Count Dooku.
Dooku. Oh,
Oh
mate, Dooku.
man, his whole backstory about
Dooku.
how he goes over Dooku,
I swear I've
how
got
he
an uncle
goes
called
over to the
Dooku, you
dark
know.
side. I
I'm sure I've
know.
got an uncle called Dooku somewhere. I'm sure. Dooku.
What? It's a gangster name, man.
I'm telling
Dooku.
you.
It's a
But you're
gang
right. It tells
count.
his the history. I mean, the backstory of Dooku and where he got his. Every time we say the name now,
I know.
that where he got his ideas from and why he is why he is.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
does it, like you said, it's short and sweet. This for
yeah,
me, so far, I've seen 4 episodes. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think
so
that's
far,
about me as well. Yeah.
this is better than all of Obi-Wan.
I know, man. I
Better than all of
know,
Obi-Wan.
I know. And then
Just like that.
you kind of, there was kind of like there's like a battle. Actually, hang on. Did they do a continuation of the one where there's it's another kind of being like Yoda, but it's a female
Yes,
Yoda.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to say, I don't want to spoil it too much, but no, there's no
Oh,
I'll just spoil it. Yeah, what you
damn!
see is what you get from that
Is what you
episode.
get. That's it. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
what you see
All
is what
right.
you get so far. So, but yeah, that was crazy. That
I know,
Dooku,
man.
Dooku doesn't play games, you know.
I know. And the Emperor, I'm pretty sure that's the Emperor,
Yeah,
right? The voice of the Emperor.
Palpatine. Yeah, that's Palpatine. Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. You guys should definitely be watching it. Like I
Mm,
said before, it's not a huge investment of your time,
mm,
6 or 7 minutes long, and it kind of gives you a bit of a taste because we're still
mm.
getting the live action Ashoka Tano, right, Deval? Are we
Yes,
still
we
getting
are.
that?
I'm looking forward to that. She is,
Mm,
she's one of the best Star Wars
she's great.
characters of all time for me. She's
She's
just
really
wicked,
great.
wicked,
Yeah.
wicked, wicked, wicked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
All right, folks, go check those out on streaming. And remember, there's loads of stuff coming out, which we're going to be watching over the kind of, coming weeks, and we'll let you know all about that. But let's do new trailers, and we've got quite a few here. And the
mm,
big one of the bunch, Devaldo, let's get into this. So this is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And boy, man, there's a
mm,
lot going in the trailer, Deval. We've
mm,
got obviously the Guardians, they're back.
mm,
We're seeing Gamora, she's in this. We're seeing Adam Warlock just a bit.
mm.
He's got what's the thing on his forehead again?
In the comics, it's the Soul Gem, which is the Soul Stone. So it's an Infinity Stone in the
Uh,
comics, but I don't obviously it's not going to be that here. Yeah, it's not going to be
mm,
that.
yeah, but it's kind of
Mm.
like almost you can almost feel like as if this is the kind of the end of the road for the guy. If it felt like a bit like this is the basic swan song, us saying
Yeah,
goodbye.
yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen to them afterwards, obviously,
Mm.
but I hope they can just tie a neat little bow around everyone's stories. And we're seeing, are we going to get more
Mm.
Rocket stuff, like what happened to Rocket before he becomes?
Well, yes, because that's a big part of this. In
Mm,
this, from what I understand, the High Evolutionary
mm,
is going to be a big character, and
yeah,
he's
Chuck
played by
Woody,
the guy. Yeah, he was in John Cena's show
um,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker,
He was
yeah.
in that. So yeah, he's the High Evolutionary in the comics. He's a he's like a mad scientist basically, where he
Okay.
goes off to other planets and he creates new life forms, and he literally observes them and tweaks them and just plays scientist on life. And he's
Mm,
in the comics responsible for the creation of Rocket Raccoon, among other
wow.
creatures. So that's
Yeah.
why in part one, Rocket said something about, "Oh, I didn't ask to be created," and all that kind of stuff. And in
Mm,
this, I think we're going to see him come face to face with his maker. He's going to meet his maker,
right.
and people are saying in this, Rocket might actually not make it. Some people are
Yeah.
also saying that Drax, he doesn't really fancy doing his role for much longer, and he might
Yeah.
not make it. So lots might change in this. So we'll have to see what happens at the end of this film. But
Mm.
yeah, we're going to get this in May, and all the answers will come out then, hopefully.
Yeah, and are we getting kind of
Mm.
like an origin story ish of Adam Warlock as
Adam
well?
Warlock,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, we saw in part two the what they called again, the Aisha. You know, the Aisha. She's the queen
yeah,
of
the
the
gold.
gold people. I can't remember what they're
Yeah.
called, but the gold people. We'll get to find out obviously what happened and how he was created and what his purpose is, and maybe he'll join the Guardians and be another member if Drax
Mm.
and Rocket goes, perhaps. So we get to see a more older version of Groot. But yeah,
He
Adam Warlock in the
sounds,
character.
yeah.
He sounds, yeah, and it's got more. It seems like he's got more powers. He's got more
Yeah.
arms and all that.
Mm.
So But yeah, Adam Warlock is a big character in the comics, and I want to see if he's going to be as big of a character in the movies.
Mm.
Time will tell, but he's a fan favorite.
Yeah, he
In the
is.
comics, he has an evil twin that's called the Magus, which is the
Oh,
evil version of him. And
right.
if that's going to happen, that's a whole nother film. So
Wow. So, and then this could
yeah,
then lead off. So, if we're being introduced to Adam Warlock, then he then might get his own film, right? And something like that as
yeah,
well. Okay, all right.
yeah.
Well, listen, yeah. And again, remember, this is all going to lead off into Secret Wars and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Now, the other one, and I've got to do a sigh over here. Indiana Jones, and
Mm.
I just want to put this out there: Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Like, all right,
Dial it
okay,
down,
so
mate. Dial it
yeah,
down.
that's exactly what I thought. And listen, look, you see the trailer, you have Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, his narration, and it just reminded me of Star Wars. It reminded me
Yeah.
of he was talking about it's almost like as if the legend of Indiana Jones, and he's talking about his own legend and everything, and like I don't know, man. Apparently a few weeks ago I kind of mentioned it on the show. They had test screenings and people were like, this
Mm,
is real, like it's
mm.
shit basically. I'm not expecting much, Deval.
Neither am I. I mean, on Harrison Ford's IMDb, his date of birth is July 1942. He was
God.
born before the Second World War ended. You know, he was born in 1942. He's been around for a while. No disrespect
Yes.
to him, but 80
Yeah,
years
no,
old,
yeah.
running around Indiana Jones, which is why, from what I understand, in this trailer, it looks like there's time travel. It looks like he's going to meet an earlier version of himself from the Second World War. He goes back there, meets an earlier version of himself, and then Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's the female companion of his, is
Yeah.
going to be the one that takes over being Indiana Jones. That's what I hear. I mean,
Oh,
because in the trailer you see a younger version of himself, and
of
it's
him, yeah,
just
and they've
yeah,
de-aged him, right?
exactly. So this is going to be a whole bunch of madness. This shouldn't be, but it is because the rights have now gone to Disney. George Lucas surrendered his rights to
Right.
Disney. That's why
Yeah,
it's happening.
yeah. That's why it's happening, right? And I guess
Yeah,
they need to pass the baton on before like anything happens to Harrison Ford, and they needed to
mate.
get him on. Mate, this has been going
Oh,
on. How many years has this movie been in,
oh.
like been in the making? Honestly, this movie should have been made like 5 years ago or
This
something.
this
Um,
baton shouldn't be passed on. You know how you get in relay races, sometimes the baton drops. Somebody should have dropped this.
just dropped it.
Let it be. Let it
Let it
be.
be, exactly. All right. So listen, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's called Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. All right. Now let's move on to this one: Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Now a lot of people will be going, oh, they'll be groaning. But listen, it's been a while since we've had a Transformers movie, and the last Transformer movie I quite liked. It was decent. It was
Did you
Bumblebee.
like it? Okay. Oh,
Bumblebee. I thought.
Bumblebee. Oh, that one. Sorry. Okay, I thought you meant the Transformers one.
Oh no 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 no.
Bumblebee was alright. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Mm,
But the last Transformers movie was oh my gosh,
mm.
man, that was the one with Mark Wahlberg, right? I'm sure. I'm thinking it was
Yes, he's been. I think he's been in a couple now. You know. Yeah, Mark
right.
Wahlberg.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so what's tell us about this one then?
So this one is called Rise of the Beast. This is coming out next summer, June. The trailer looks like this beasts and transformers, and one thing really disturbs me in this trailer,
Yeah.
because one of the transformers can actually one of the transformers looks like uh, a gorilla. Looks
Oh,
like a gorilla. Yeah. One second. Let me just sort something out. Yeah. One sec.
okay.
I'm back here. One of the transformers looks like a gorilla,
Yeah.
and it disturbs me that this gorilla-looking transformer looks like a robot, because you know in Transformers it's
Mm.
supposed to be robots in disguise, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
whole
And
thing. Robots in disguise, but a lot of the disguises aren't disguising. They're supposed to just look like a normal car, normal plane, just sort of all of a sudden just
just turn it.
transform. But these, the gorilla looks like a robot and he's running around in the jungle. I mean, you can tell it's a transformer. What's it doing? So I just don't. I've lost it with Transformers. It's
I
a joke.
know, man. It's
It's a
like, see, the
joke.
thing is,
It's a
I
joke.
don't. It is, and again, I guarantee you, it's just basically so that they can keep hold of the IP. They can kind of like
Yeah,
have
yeah,
their hands
yeah.
on it, so it doesn't go over to Disney or something. And
It makes
I don't
them
know,
money, man.
man.
It makes them money.
Yeah, exactly. So,
They got a good cast. They got a good cast. Michelle Yeoh's in it. Peter Dinklage is in it. Well, Pete
mm,
Davidson, I don't know what he wants, but he's in it. Ron Perlman's in it.
okay,
Yeah, Peter Cullen, Optimus Prime, the voice, the original voice, he's in it.
yeah.
So they've got a respectable cast, but man, it's a money maker. That's all.
It
I
is.
ain't
It
watching
is.
it.
I
I
know,
ain't gonna
man. I'm
watch it.
not. Listen, I'm not fussed about it. I mean, like out of that lot, Indiana Jones and
Mm,
Transformers. I watch Indiana Jones before I watch Transformers. Put it that way. All right. So
yeah,
this
yeah.
next one is The Fallout, and this is based on a game. And remember, you mentioned this before as well.
No, this is misleading. Yeah, this
Oh,
one is. Uh, you're right. There was a game called the Fallout or something like that. This is different,
yeah.
and I'll watch the Fallout before I watch Transformers. But the Fallout is it's a real indie film. This is like a
Mm,
real. I don't think it's even A24, but it should be. It looks like it. But
mm.
the Fallout is it's a film about grief, a film
Oh,
about loss. It's so the trailer looks so touching. Do you know who it stars? The new Adams Family that's out at the moment on
yes.
Netflix. Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Jenna Ortega. So
Yes, she's doing really good.
she's the main star in this. It's directed by someone called Megan Park and written by her as well. And this is about Jenna Ortega's character and also a lady called Maddie Ziegler. They're both the main stars in this, and they both go to a school. At that school, which unfortunately we see all too often now, a school shooting happens.
Mm,
So one of the students, shoots people, kills people, and they were there when it happens, and
yeah.
they're now suffering lots of trauma from that, and they sort of trying to support each other
Yeah.
in that journey back to being their authentic selves again. The
Yeah.
families are trying to help them, but it just seems like such a emotionally charged film
Yeah.
that it shows a part of a picture that we don't normally see. If we hear
Sounds
about a
good,
school
man.
shooting, we normally hear about the shooting, the people obviously that have unfortunately been killed or injured, and then we hear a
Yeah.
lot about the shooter, why, all that kind of stuff. The court case, but the people that survive, you don't really hear their
You don't hear
stories.
their
This is
stories.
it.
Yeah.
This seems like a deep film. It looks good.
Yeah. It's good, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Sounds good.
yeah.
Yeah. So go have a look at that one, and this next one. Well, the last one here is we've kind of spoken about this before, and we saw the teaser trailer, but
Mm,
now HBO they've released a full trailer. It's a good couple of minutes long. This trailer,
yeah.
and this is The Last of Us, and you kind of see a bit more. And the one thing that caught my attention, Devaldo, was they've the scenes that we see in the trailer they've picked right from the game. I mean, like
Mm,
seriously, when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my god, that is from the
mm.
game!" Because I remember playing the game and seeing
Yeah,
that the
yes.
zombie things. They've really they've done a really good job, I
Mm,
think, on making sure that they look like what they look like in the game, the
yeah,
characters and everything like that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this, man, because this is going to be coming out in January, right?
yeah, spot on. HBO. This is going to be good,
Mm,
and in
it's
the
going to be
UK
good.
you can watch it on Sky. So, yeah, so that's going to be good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. This could be the new Walking Dead. Walking Dead, we just
Yes.
understand that's finished now. I understand, and
Yeah.
this could pick up right there.
I know, it's good. And what I like about it is like, they've got obviously there's Joel and I've forgotten what her name is, Maddie, I think her name is in the thing. But there's also these
Mm,
other kind of peripheral characters as well, which I think is going to
yeah,
kind of give it a lot of kind of depth and drama basically, which is what we want. But
mm,
also I think a lot of fans are going to be looking at, right, how are they going to, what are the monsters actually going to be like? Because remember
mm,
when
mm.
what was that one called?
But The Walking
Resident
Dead,
Evil. No,
Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil.
Okay, yeah.
Remember when that was there was talk of Resident Evil, they were like, oh, they they had to make it out, people I think got really upset
Mm,
when it wasn't
yeah,
like the game. So I
yeah,
think they're
yeah,
gonna have to
yeah.
cater for that as well. So we'll see what happens.
Uh, just a quick point. I think with these sorts of films, I think the monsters are usually the other humans. They're usually the most
Mm.
dangerous things about. The
Yeah.
creatures, yeah, they point and shoot, they're dead. But it's
Yeah.
humanity. That's where the real evil kind of
Monsters.
reveals itself when there's
Yep.
tragedy. So let's see if that happens in this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch this one. All right, okay, let's do anniversary corner, folks. And from 10 years ago, we've got a really, really interesting movie here. If you haven't seen this one, we recommend it. This is called Compliance. And yeah, are we a compliant society, Deval? If we were told to but hang on, were we compliant during COVID?
Many people were, many people weren't, and
Weren't?
many people that were are angry. Well, in the UK anyway, are
Yeah.
angry because a lot of the people that made the rules didn't stick to it themselves. So now they're wishing that they weren't so compliant. So
Compliant, exactly. But
yeah.
this one,
Mm.
now remind me again. This is this based on a true story? I can't remember.
This you are spot on, Mr. Teacher. This is based on a true story. We've spoken
It's
about this before a
mad.
while ago.
Yeah,
I had to bring it up again, but
yeah.
Compliance 2012, watch this film. It's
Mm,
only 90 minutes long and it
yeah.
tells this true story of incidents that happened in America where somebody abused people's compliance. They
Mm,
abused people's trust, and they paraded themselves as law enforcement, and contacted different fast food chains and restaurants, and got people, young women, to strip, and this is all on the phone, by the way.
that's
Got them to do
crazy.
certain things that they wouldn't normally do, but he uses authority. He
Mm,
actually lied and said he was a cop and got them to do things, and it was just crazy what he got people to do because they thought they were
mad.
being compliant to
Yeah.
authority.
Mm,
And this is a film worth watching. It's a really,
it is.
really good film.
Mm.
Good film,
Yeah,
hidden gem as
and
well.
it is.
But
It is actually a hidden gem, and the fact that it's like this is it's true and everything. It's just absolutely beggars
mm,
belief that shit. Like this is something that could actually really happen, and there's people out there
yeah,
who will try and get away with this sort of stuff. So if you haven't seen that movie, go check it out. It's Compliance. I don't know. I'm not sure if it is on a streaming service, but I mean, you'll definitely be able to find it somewhere.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if you do, please do let us know. All right, let's get into the film review section. Now, we've got a couple of movies over here that we want to speak about. The first one
Mm,
is called The Menu. Now, if you're a bit of a foodie, then you might be interested in this one because this movie is all about the food,
mm.
Devour. And are you a foodie, by the way?
Yes and no. I love food, but I've also always got to stop myself from eating too much because
Yeah.
weight
But do
loves
you
me. So
care? But do you care? Like, when you go to a restaurant, are you one of those people who are like, oh, it has to look in a certain way? It has to look,
no, no, no,
obviously, it
no,
has
no,
to
no,
look
no.
appealing, but, are you kind of like, you're more substance rather than style, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that's me.
exactly. Me too. Like, we just want
Mm.
food and we want a decent meal. Now, this movie, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the director is trying to basically say over here, but he is actually making a
Mm.
comment about society, and it reminds me of your review
Mm.
of what was the triangle one again?
Triangle of
The
Sadness.
triangle of sadness. You know how when you spoke about the triangle of sadness, Deval, you said that there
Mm.
was a lot of kind of the dynamics with the people in there were kind of
Mm.
about a reflection of society and about
Mhm.
what is wrong with society. The menu,
Yeah.
Devaldo, is is a lot like that in the sense that
Is it?
we have a chef who has brought
Mm.
together some of the most kind of rich people, only 12 guests.
Elite. Oh,
El-
is it?
the elite of the elite, the people who can pay for the meal. The meal is about, I think they mention it in the movie, the meal's about, say it's like $2,000 per head.
Mm. Mm-mm.
$2,000 per head, mate, right? And there's 12 of them, right? Okay, so this person, this chef, played by Ralph Fiennes, is a bit of a nutter, And so
Mm.
he brings in these 12 guests, and we have people like Anya Taylor-Joy, we have people like Nicholas Hoult, we have John Leguizamo, I always get his name wrong.
Yep.
And then we've got some kind of, IT nerds, and we've got, an older couple, and we've got like a few other people here and there.
Mm.
So you've got the, different bunch of people, and they've been invited to this very, very exclusive, the restaurant's been opened up for them. They're taken by boat. It's out on an island. Everything is prepared on the island. The staff, they love the chef. They will do anything for the chef. And the movie starts off with them being sat down, and you know what? There you go. And so you get to learn about, obviously these different people. Anya Taylor-Joy, she's clearly the focus of the movie, as is Ralph Fiennes' character, the chef. Nicholas Hoult, he kind of, he's got a big part in there as well. But
Mm.
it's really about uh, what I got from it was, through Ralph Fiennes, the director is basically saying that there's so much wrong with our society right now.
Mm.
There's one of two things that's going to happen. We're basically all going to end up fighting and killing each other, and basically, everything's going to go to piss, because no one is just stopping to enjoy the small moments in life.
Mm. Okay. Mm.
It's this movie,
That
Devaldo,
makes sense.
is one of the weirdest movies that I've seen, but it's also, I think, probably like one of the most intriguing movies that's it is. I'm still trying to get my head around what I've actually seen, because what happens in the movie, you and I, we wouldn't let that
Mm.
happen.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
it's like, if you go to a place and you know that something bad is happening,
Mm.
but you're unable to do anything about it, what do you do in that situation? So
Well,
that you're in a very, very bad situation. You know that something bad is going to happen to you by the end of
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What would you do if you only had like a few hours left to live?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'll,
And
I'll
and
do
this
everything that.
and you're with 12 strangers basically.
Well, I'll definitely eat something because I ain't got much time to live. I'm gonna eat, drink, uh,
Be merry.
it's be merry. Yeah, just I don't know. I'll reach out to people. I don't know. I don't know
No,
what it'd be
there's
so.
no
It'd be so
communication. No
no
communication with the
communication.
outside world.
Ah, as
No
long as it's
communication
Haagen
with
Dazs,
that.
give me that. Give me a Haagen Dazs and send me on my way. That's it.
Seriously, the film is just so weird, but at the same time, it's done in such a way which is black comedy. Is this kind of
Mm,
like, a bit of weirdness to it, and some of the things that the characters do, you think to yourself, oh my god, like, would you even really do that? And why haven't you done something,
mm,
before it
mm.
even gets to that point? There's all this stuff going on. It's a really interesting movie, and I had the choice of watching that or Violent Night, and I'm glad I watched this one because
Mm,
it was something completely
okay.
different. I wasn't expecting it.
Mm,
So my recommendation is,
mm.
I'm not even the way I've explained the movie is just, I haven't
Yeah.
even given you any plot details,
No
but basically,
spoilers. Yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah,
good. Yeah.
I don't want to give you any of that. But all I'm saying is, it takes place in a restaurant. Ralph Fiennes is the
Mm.
chef, and he really wants people to kind of uh, understand where he's coming from. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. So would you put it in a horror category at all or not? Were there horror
No,
elements to it or
there are some horror, definitely some horror, shocking moments in there. And if you saw
okay,
that,
okay.
you'd be like, oh my gosh, like what the hell is going
Mm,
on?
mm,
And at the same time, there's kind of elements of black comedy, but there's also
mm,
this, like I said before, this kind of commentary about our society at the moment. How we
mm.
consume, how, sometimes, like you get those Instagrammers, the influencers, they just basically
Mm.
take photographs of everything, and
Yeah, yeah,
they're not
yeah, yeah,
really kind of enjoying the moment.
yeah, yeah.
um You
It
know,
happens in Triangle of Sadness. Yeah, happens in that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
there
get
you
it.
go. When
Get
you
it.
spoke about Triangle of Sadness, it made me
Mm,
think about that, and I was like, shit, this could be
yeah.
kind of like a similar thing. So yeah, go out and watch it. Definitely, I think you're gonna kind of be like, wow. Anya Taylor
Mm,
Joy, she's really great. You know, like Brits do great American accents. She does a great American
mm,
accent in this one as well. So yeah, man, there's a what an ending. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so go
mm,
check it out. It's called The Menu. It's out in cinemas right now. You should be able to watch it.
mm. Damn. Okay. It makes me actually wish that I watched The Feast, which is the Welsh film I was talking about a little while ago. That would have
Yeah,
worked
you did.
really well today as a hidden gem. I apologize. Maybe I'll watch it next week.
Yep,
I need to watch that film. That would have fit in so nicely with The Menu.
nicely. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
All
next
right,
time.
go on. Your turn.
So yes, I watched a film called Troll, and this is on Netflix. I'll do a really quick review on this. It's not going to take too long. This is a Scandinavian film, Norwegian, I believe, and we know from sort of Scandinavian mythology. Obviously, we know about Thor and Odin and things like that. But you
Yeah,
also have the trolls. Trolls. People think
yeah,
of trolls as those things under the bridge.
yeah.
They sort of pay the troll keeper to cross the bridge. you know, Imagine they had trolls at checkpoints.
Imagine, give me your money.
Drive through your
Yeah.
car, give them a ticket, and drive through again. But the trolls.
Bro.
But
Holy shit.
yeah, so we saw actually 10 years ago. Oh man, that should have been a hidden gem. Troll Hunter. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
oh, that's 2010. So not anniversary corner. Troll Hunter. That was a really good film. Came out in
Yeah.
2010.
Yeah,
That was like
definitely.
found footage kind of. But this is more in line with. Do you know what? Let me put it to you in a sentence. I'm actually waffling. This is like the troll version of Godzilla for the
Oh,
for
right, right.
Norwegians.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is what it
Okay.
was. This is what you get. This is on Netflix. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. Basically, a paleontologist. She's digging for bones, dinosaurs, and stuff like that. She's an expert of like that sort of thing. The government on the other side of Norway somewhere are digging a tunnel to make things, quicker for travel and stuff like that. Digging a tunnel, as you do.
Yeah.
People are protesting at that dig because it's bad for the environment, all that kind of stuff. As
Yep.
they blow up some holes to make the tunnel, they unearth a troll.
Oh my
Troll
gosh.
comes out, ain't very happy. Someone's blown up his hibernating area. He
Yeah.
comes out, not happy. He's mashing shit up. That's it. That's the beginning of the film. They get the
Right.
paleontologist. They get her to come and bring her expertise to find out what's going on. Who is this? Try and help us, kind of thing. The military get involved. They go hunting this thing like it's Godzilla. You see the footprints, like in remember Godzilla,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
like
In the
Godzilla
mud.
that came out in 2014. Yeah, footprints in the
Yeah.
mud, and
Yeah.
all they can see so far is oh my gosh, look at that! Look how deep it is. Ooh, this thing must be this tall, this heavy. Look at the patterns. Oh, so
Yeah.
that they do all that kind of stuff. It's just like Godzilla, man. It's
Yeah.
Godzilla, and then obviously because it's Scandinavian mythology, which I didn't realize, but those trolls they don't like the sounds of bells, and they can
Oh.
also that's their weakness, bells, a bit like venom, and they also can smell the blood of a Christian, because the mythology says that you know uh, the trolls were driven away by Christianity because
Oh.
Christianity like overtook the country and
Yes.
drove away
The
that sort of old school
the
beliefs or
pagan
whatever.
beliefs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
they can smell the blood of a Christian and they don't like it. So if they smell you got a Christian blood, they'll mash you up.
P5 faux fum. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And then Norway is going to be overtaken by Muslims. So, oh my gosh, some of the far right in Norway, like
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, no, stop.
Stop.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's some of the sort of old school uh, things that the trolls can do. But yeah, the
Yeah.
film, that's pretty much the main crux of the film. That's what you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
hunting it down and stuff. There's moments where the paleontologist, she understands how trolls work and she can do things to try and connect with it, or she understands its weaknesses, or they kind of connect a couple of moments, and the troll looks at her like to say, "Oh, you know me, I know you," kind of thing, you know. He kind of looks at her and he's like, and then he goes off and leaves her alone.
Oh
It's
Jesus.
it's like that King Kong relationship with the
Yeah, do you
girl.
remember that with the
It's so
girl? Yeah.
it's just so
Oh my
like there's
gosh.
always a girl like it looks at it like to say like he knows her. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we matched.
Like she
We
can
matched.
tame.
I know you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that
Oh,
happens a couple of times. But apart from that, a lot of destruction, a lot of people die.
yeah.
And yeah, it comes to a bit of a unsatisfying ending actually, to be honest.
Right.
Not even
Yeah.
like a big like, it's not even a big battle or something. The way it ends, it's just so like, is that it? Is that it? It's mad. But
Do you
yeah,
remember when we do you remember when we watched that film Border?
yes, yeah. That was a
They
weird
were
film.
that
Yeah.
was very weird.
They talked
They
about
were
trolls.
trolls. They were trolls, weren't they?
Were they trolls, is it?
I'm
Ah,
pretty sure that was Norway or I'm pretty sure
yeah, I
that
remember
was
it was.
something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ah,
So they're out
yeah,
there somewhere, weren't they? Oh gosh.
yeah.
So what do you reckon? So in terms of kind of like, those, your Godzillas, your King Kongs, and your Transformers type of movies, like what is this? How does this compete with those movies?
The thing I like about this, and the reason why I watched it, is because we watch too many American films. It's
Yeah,
all
man.
America, America, America. One point of view. I like to
Mm.
see what's going on in the world. That's why I
Yeah.
watched it. I wanted to see what their version of King Kong Godzilla will look like. It wasn't shit, wasn't great. Somewhere in between. Give it a 6 out of
Mm.
10, maybe. It was just interesting,
Yeah.
which is fine for me. I don't always have to see the Americans taking over the
Yeah.
world and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a different perspective. So I appreciated it for that. So yeah, but it wasn't anything great. But it goes to show other people in the world, they got great graphics too. The graphics were wicked. Yeah,
Really?
the graphics were good,
Wow.
man. The action was good. It was,
Yeah.
it just wasn't American, but it looked the same. So
Yeah.
everyone's catching up. Everyone's catching up.
They are. I managed to watch maybe kind of, and I don't know why I never carried on watching it, but there's this program on Netflix called Ragnarok.
Oh
Is it
yes, I
called
didn't even
Ragnarok?
start it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
Scandinavian
Yeah.
show, and it's about these two kids. They return back to kind of like their hometown, and because they've
Mm,
moved back into their hometown, they start getting powers. And I think one of them turns. I haven't got to the point yet, but I
mm,
think one of them becomes Thor. And
mm,
man, yeah, it was decent. I don't know, and I don't know why I didn't
yeah.
carry on watching it. But
Mm,
Scandinavia, they make some decent programs.
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Um,
So.
yeah. So, is this a thumbs up or a kind of bit of a
It's a
thumbs down?
thumbs up, but it's just like a 6 out of 10. Nothing major. It's on
Yeah, nothing
Netflix, so if you
major.
can catch it, catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Brilliant.
So,
Thank you for that. So listen, look, listener, thank
all
you
right.
for staying right till the end. We have, reached the end of this one. We'll see you
Well,
on the next one. But listen, Deval, what's coming up next? What's coming
I'm
up
gonna try
soon?
and do Feast for next week. I'm gonna try and do it's a hidden gem. I'm gonna try and do it's a
Mm,
Welsh film. Like we say, we're gonna
yeah,
get international. It's not about American and
exactly.
English all the time.
Yeah,
Let's get Welsh up in this shit as well. And then the week after, it's gonna be Avatar. So
Avatar.
we've got things happening for
We
sure.
have we have got things happening. Are you doing what are you doing for that one? A 4DX or a 3D or what?
Just 3D. I was
Yeah,
tempted to do 4DX, but I didn't. I didn't. I might regret it, but yeah, I'll do 3D for now. Stick to that.
yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be 3D about that one. All right, well, listen, look,
Mm.
thanks for listening. Thanks for doing this, and we'll see you on the next.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.